everybody. I'm the Pigglesworth, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Along with Piggy. Isn't this weird? You just stare me right in the face. There we go. I figured I would start out here in a dark spot, because I wanted to show you something cool. Boop! Check that out. And you're probably like, wait a minute, how did you do that, Piggy? Well, watch my hotbar, and watch my hand. There we go. Get a good angle going. Boop! Check that out. This is a feature that I've wanted to see in Minecraft for a long time. Boop! Lights that you can hold. Now, this isn't something that vanilla Minecraft is doing. I'll show you what's going on. I have Optifine running, and I want to say that this is a setting for Optifine. Where did it go? Where did it go? Maybe details? Entity shadows? No. It's somewhere in here. Quality? No. Oh man, maybe I should have looked for this before I hit record. Anyway, it's in here. I'm telling you, it's here. No, okay, we're just going to stop now. It's somewhere in there. Somewhere in those settings is a setting that lets me use lighting. So if I'm holding an item, I can toggle this setting on where lighting in my hand lights up the room. Do I have a redstone torch? I do. And watch this. I think yep, look, it's an even dimmer light if I'm holding it. So I can get an eerie effect or a brighter effect. I thought that was really cool. I wanted to show that off. But here's something else cool that happened. So I'm digging a little tunnel under here so that I could show you this. And I happen upon this. I can't think of how many times I've spent hours looking for diamonds, and the one time that I go in here just to do something real quick to set up a camera, boom, there's diamonds just waiting for me. What luck, what luck. Well, today I'm going to do something that I've kind of gotten lost. I've kind of tried to work over my brain. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Because in a few moments it'll make a little bit more sense, but I don't think I've ever done this back to back in an episode. Oh, and I want to show you this. I figured this out. You know how I'm always getting lost when I jump down there? All right, so the cooker is over there, right? So if I just hop down, where's the cooker? Well, the cooker is behind me, right? Well, look what's also behind me. Check that out. So I'm like, okay, when I jump down here, what I need to keep in mind is face the cooker, because the cooker cooks stuff and all that lava would cook me. So that is how I'm going to try and do it. So when I jump down here, I can remember where in the world is the entrance to the nether portal. And that kind of messes with my head because I don't know why, but for the longest time, whenever I come down here, I always assume that it's that way, but it's actually that way. It's like backwards. And you might notice something else. I went a little crazy in here with the shovel as well. I figured I would try some stuff out here with the floor, and I'm really liking these path blocks. I went ahead and left this just for a comparison so you could see. That's okay. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, sir, you agree with me. But this is so much better. Adds a little bit more variation. I like how it does that too. It changes the face of the block because of it's either an Optifine setting or it might be the texture pack that I'm using. I'm not so certain. But I just like that. It added just enough variation in here. Gives a little bit more feel like we're underground, under where the mud is. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. But let's see. I think it was still daytime out. I'm going to run through here. I think we'll be safe. We still got some sunlight. We have got some sunlight. So in last episode, I had said 1.11 hadn't come out yet. And what's funny is I had recorded that episode a week in advance. Well, guess what? 1.11 came out after I recorded the episode, but before I released it. So I was like, well, good game, Piggy. So, but I've been over here, hop, skip, and a jump. I've been over here fishing. And you can hear this thing's going crazy. I haven't figured out why it's doing this. We're just going to come down here. Boop, and just shut you off because you're making a bunch of racket we don't need right now. When we're filming is the one time you want to start making noise. But I've caught some different fishing poles. I caught a fishing pole that had mending on it, which was crazy. So I didn't even have to get a mending book for it. It got a mending enchant already on it. It was almost broken, but I went ahead and repaired it and combined it with some other stuff. And then I took it over to the XP farm in the Nether and check that out. So I think that is the highest that will go for everything. Luck of the Sea 3, Mending, and Lure 2. So that is going to give us the best opportunity and option to pull all kinds of junk out of here. And here's what I've gotten so far. Sticks are just like placeholders to make stuff filter through and do all that. But we got a bunch of junk in here, don't we? Got a looting 2. Haven't got any mending books. That was starting to bug me. Now, one thing that had happened was I was sitting here AFK fishing, went off and did a bunch of stuff, came back, and I noticed that my character was not fishing properly. The bobber was going crazy. It was not shutting off the system. And I got to looking at the way that I built this thing. It wasn't working right. Piggy did a faux pas. He messed up. Not really a faux pas, but he did mess up. I messed up this build. I thought I had it working right, and I messed it up. So what I've decided I'm going to do, because having mending is going to be so... Oh, we got to get out of the way. It's not bath time. Pigs are very particular about when they take a bath. Oh, yep. Okay, you know what? Let's just go outside. Fine. Let's just get away. But what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is the episode right after I build something, we're going to tear it up and rebuild it, because this thing's not working. And in this season, we're serious business. We're not going to get hung up like last season with the iron farm. We've got to get things moving forward because we've got stuff to conquer. And if we don't have armor that can be mended and tools that can be mended, we can't get our conquering done. So I've got to fix this farm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut this thing and rebuild it real quick. I'm going to do it off camera because that's going to be boring. And then I'm going to bring you back and show you what I've done. And I'm going to go ahead and make a tutorial showing you how to build the farm, so we don't waste time here. But there's also something else in this world that's going to get an upgrade. There's something else that I built a long time ago that has never worked fully to my liking, and I finally figured out a fix for it. So we're going to fix 2 things today. We're going to fix it Piggy. We're going to give this thing a little turnaround and fix the stuff. So I'm going to gather up my tools and my equipment. I'm going to go over there and gut that thing and fix it, bring you back and show you the working details, and then we're going to move on to our next project. And there we go. Now I know you're not saying. I know you're saying Piggy. Not much has changed. It looks like you just moved a few blocks around, and I mean, in a way I did. But I also redid some of the timing and some of the redstone. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I've been trying to use this thing, and it works. And I go away AFK, and I come back, and let's see if we can get it to work. Hop in here. Okay, so that time it worked. And the barber will sit there. Let's see if we can get this to work on camera. Because see, what ends up happening is, for a while, this will work. I'll keep casting the bobber, but then I'll come back, and the timing for where that fence goes up and down, and where the bobber gets cast, it's like the timing gets out of sync, and the bobber doesn't go up and set off the tripwire before we shut the system down. Apparently, this is the most stubborn fish ever. It doesn't want to get caught. I see bubbles. There we go. Nope, that one worked. Okay, so this is like half the time it wants to work, half the time it doesn't want to work. So we're just going to leave this system here for now. Let's see. And I've been trying to do this just to keep everything organized. Now, it's a little frustrating as we're getting some decent stuff. Got a silk touch book. That's awesome. Flame. We could make us an awesome bow with that. Power 4, some more looting. No, we don't want that. We can throw that in the fire. But we get a couple things going, but we can't seem to get our hands on any mending. Is it daytime? Is it safe? It is. Just make it hop, skip, and jump out of here. Okay, so for right now, we're going to abandon that build. It's a little frustrating because I was hoping, half the episode there trying to get that thing fixed, but it's not working right. So I'm going to wait until I can get the timing right and know that thing works before I put out a tutorial. Now, for the most part, the farm itself, that's a tutorial somebody else has done, Exumavoid, and I think it was Wells Night. I did a hybrid of their builds to make that build, and then I just added some amenities to it. So the amenities would be what I would be adding in a tutorial. But until I can get that timing to work right, I'm not so certain that I want to put that tutorial out. So we'll just hold off. We'll wait on that. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next thing for today, which is right here, right where we're standing. Now this build, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the first things that I ever built in this world for this series. And this cooker, I love the way it looks. And the design seemed to work pretty good, but it too glitches a little bit. Now, for those of y'all who haven't seen the earlier episodes, this might be the first time you've ever seen down here. And the way this is supposed to work is items come down in here, this item gets filled up, and I have a little button, a starter button that I push right here, and it sets that off. Now that comes up here, whoop, if we can get up here, and it starts distributing items. Now as that minecart with a chest, when it comes over here, if there's still items in it, it sets off this little clock right here that switches this so that the minecart turns and comes up here and then whoop, goes back. And it just keeps doing that over and over again until it runs out of items and goes back down. Now the problem with this system, which I can never figure out how to get to work, you have to push a button to get it started. The way I wanted it to work was when I put items in that chest, that minecart automatically started and it just kept going until it was done. And there's something else missing. See, this upper set of hoppers puts all the items in the furnaces, the furnace. But here's the problem. The back of the furnaces. How do we get fuel in there? Well, right now we have to add it manually. And because I never did sit down and build all of the stuff on this side to add the fuel, this has been a nice decorative build, but it's just never functioned properly. So today what we're going to do is we're going to rip this thing open. We're going to gut it and rebuild it. And I know what you're saying, Piggy. Not. I know what you're saying, comma. Piggy, you're kidding me. You're going to rip this whole thing apart and start all over again? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do this safe. We're going to wait till the sun comes back up before we do it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to rip open this mountainside. We're going to expose the interior. Whoa. Got a little bit of fire coming up through there. There must be a torch right underneath that block. Let's find out. Yep, there's a torch right there. Which is a nice cool effect you can use if you're trying to make like little fire stuff come up through the ground. But anyway, we are going to rip and gut this sucker open so that we can see all the interior, because I have come up with a better functioning system that's going to make this work. Now, that functioning system does work, and so that functioning system is going to get a tutorial. But the way this is going to work is we're still going to have our output chest here. That gets to go away and that gets to go away. We're going to be able to just dump stuff in here and run off, and it's going to automatically smelt and put the stuff here. And over here, we're going to have an input so I can just dump things in that would be fuel to light on fire. So I can burn things and cook things. So, sun's going down. You know what? We're going to just let's do something on camera. Let's just gut this thing. Just so you don't think I'm brave enough to do it, do you? You don't think I would rip this sucker open like this. Look at here. Uh-oh, ghost block. Now, if I remember correctly, nope, right-clicking that doesn't work. Where'd it go? That's really weird. Right-click, right there it is. And that happens sometimes if your shovel's digging way too fast. I've got the boss shovel, and it's just going to make ghost blocks for me. We're going to rip this open like this. Get it all wide open. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep because I don't want zombies and creepers getting in here and having to deal with all them. But I'm going to rip this open. I'm going to go ahead and fix all of the redstone. And then I'm going to bring you back and show you how the system works. All right, everybody. I know this looks pretty close, like nothing's changed, right? Look at these chests out here. These are my little work chests. I got all this junk just sitting here. Had a bunch of cooked potatoes in the output chest. I guess I need to put signs up for that, don't I? Input chest and output chest. Had to dig a little hole in the wall. You can see there's a big opening back there. But look, first things first, we have finally got chests that we can put fuel in. That is awesome. And let's see. 3 and 3. Let's go ahead and just... Actually, I don't need to do that. I guess I can. I know what I'll do. There we go. We'll do like that. So, do I have sound? Don't have sound. Now we have sound. There we go. I knew something was wrong. And we got plenty of sun. All right, so check this out. Ready? Boy, I gutted that thing like a fish. Look at that. It has been a long time since I have seen the whole side of that hill and that mountain just ripped open like that. I haven't even come back here to get a good look. Let's see how bad this looks. Wow. So I just ripped that whole thing open. Now, I did save all the dirt and everything, so I'm definitely going to backfill it. We're going to fix the hill. Don't worry. We're going to make it look nice. And go up here and kind of show you a little bit of what we did. So we got both rows going now, so I can actually send fuel into it, and we can cook stuff. And got this little cool mechanism down here going. Now I'm going to make a tutorial for this whole cooker and for this mechanism. This mechanism is doing what I've wanted to have done for a long time and just could never figure out. I want it where when I drop items in, they get detected, it gets sent on its way, and it keeps going until it's empty. So we're going to go ahead and just drop some fuel in here. Whoop! Get sent on its way, and check that out. So now that thing is distributing fuel to all the furnaces. And see, we got fire. Now some of those need items, so let's go ahead and dump some items in. I got another one down there. And look at there. Send some items as well. So I get all that stuff smelting. And I do need to put signs here as well, so that we can make sure that we've got auto-collect. Is auto-collect on? That's so crazy. That sound. The sound of the furnace burning. I love it. Okay, so auto-collect is on. And there it goes. It's all coming in here. And we'll hop down here and I'll show you what I mean. So I gutted all this out as well. And we got that right there, this whole little mechanism. So we got two mechanisms on each side. And now we can just drop stuff in. And it's going to automatically get cooked. And I do need to rework this area down here. Just my little access, just in case something happens. But I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that we've got all this finally working now, I really don't see that I'm going to need to make my way back here anytime soon. Unless something happens, things get caught up in the hopper or something like that. But I have a feeling this is going to be fairly foolproof. So that's pretty cool. I just got to backfill all this mess. I got to clean up the mess that the pig made. But I love it. We finally have a working cooker. After how many episodes? What are we in? Episode 63 now? Geez, Piggy, talk about taking your time. Come on, buddy. Get with the program. We got to build builds that work. So that is going to be today's episode. We got a fish farm that I think is working, but like I said, no tutorial till I'm 100% sure. I don't want to put out a tutorial on something that like halfway works. I've done that once or twice, and I've actually had to remove the tutorial when I figured out that something was wrong. But this thing finally works exactly the way that it says on the box, the way that it's advertised, so now I can make a tutorial for it. After a long, long time. So today's project is not necessarily going to be to build this. Today's project is going to be themed off of what I've been doing today, which is going around and taking existing builds and just kind of modifying them, upgrading them, and make them work a little bit better than the way they did before. That's what I want you to do. I want you to take a build that's in your world, maybe a build that's sat around for a long time that's just bugged you. You knew that there was something wrong with it. Oh, that's down in the fishing spot, so that sunlight. Okay. But I want you to take a build that just has been an eyesore or it's bugged you for a long time and you finally had enough of it and you said, we're fixing this thing. We're going to upgrade it. We're going to make it work right. We're going to make it look pretty. Whatever it is. I want you to do the fixes, the upgrades. Then I want you to take pictures of it and send it to me on Twitter. And that way I can tweet it out for everybody else to see. And remember, don't worry if you're doing it in creative or you're doing it survival, pocket edition, PC, console, none of those things matter. Just playing along with Piggy, that's what matters. So I think that's going to be it for end of episode. We're just a little bit short from normal time, but that's okay. We got stuff done, and that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start gathering up more materials, get my tools in order, see if we can get some more mending or any mending books for that matter, because I have a feeling that we are trucking along, getting close to conquering something in this world. And I have a feeling that we might be building something up in these mountains in the next episode or two. I have come up with some themed ideas for something else that I've wanted to build for a while. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is, because this is going to be a little bit... I started looking at potion making. I never actually messed with potion making. And I realize how many ingredients and how many farms that I don't have to get a potion system going. So we're going to be busy with working on potions. Do I have it up here? I don't. I used to have a Silk Touch pick up here. And I don't have it up here anymore. How am I going to harvest all the ice? I guess we need to get an ice farm going too, huh? But this little lonely mountain up here, we're going to start putting stuff up here pretty soon. We're going to start building things. So I want you to keep your eye on this area. If you're playing in this world, I want you to keep your eye on this area because we're going to start working on it. So, like I said, I'm just going to take my little swim. Whoa, I must have special boots on. I do, because I am just cruising through here. Cruising for a bruiser. But yeah, I'm going to start gathering up materials, start planning out next episode's build, and I will see you in the next episode.